Well,
It's a surprise.
there you have it. That was my answer. I don't know.
I can't do $25. That's not gonna work for my life. I can't. I can't be a $25. You know what I'm saying? Because they got 40 balls. Remember the guy that talked about, $35. That's all they can do. But we're gonna move on from there.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that we want to get into, of course, this is about the red room.
Yay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
that's what you said. You said it's about the red room.
Yes, this is about the red room. So being in the red room, we want to become. I had to, fix my chair for this one. So we want to become a little bit more transparent and a little bit more get into the red room, how that came about, and how did you find the woman in you. One thing I know that we discussed was in regards to domestic violence, right? Mm-hmm. We've all experienced that. Have you experienced any domestic violence? I have experienced some tragic things in my life. I remember being laid out on the floor and he still was kicking me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget that experience. I have forgiven that individual, but we all have experienced some trauma in our life, which moves into having broken panties. Plug every year in May. I do broken panties seminar. But the thing is, I want to hear your story, and just now you don't have to give me a big, because I know you're opening up in regards to basically having a blog. You have to be able to connect to people.
Absolutely.
And so I want to be able to connect with you in that area when it comes to domestic violence. Can you tell us a small bit of your story?
Yeah, this was years ago. Mm-hmm. This was way before my son. So I think I was 20, I don't know, I might have been 22, 23, something like that. And I got involved with a guy. He was older than me. He had been married, he had kids, everything. And
how much older?
God, he might have been maybe no more than maybe 6 years older than me. Okay. So, but he had lived a life.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't go too deep into it because I don't want to put that person out there.
Of course.
At the end of the day, the people that are close to me know what has happened.
But it's your
experience. Yeah, and I actually worked with him. I had my because I got my license for my cosmetology license at 19. Mm-hmm. So I was doing hair at 19 years old, and the first year was great. I'm like, oh, this is my boo. He loved me, blah, blah, blah. And I guess, when you're young, he's more experienced. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I had very low self-esteem. Mm-hmm. Very low self-esteem. I didn't think I was cute or anything. I didn't think I was beautiful. And the first time was, his voice, he raised his voice. And the second situation, I literally had a black eye. And that really, because I came to work with that black eye. Mm-hmm. And I actually wore glasses. At the time I had prescription dark glasses or whatever, but it was crazy. My mom, I never really, at the time my mom was living, I never told her because my mother was a praying woman, so she already knew. Mm-hmm. And I would try to distance myself away from her. I thought I was so in love. I moved out the house, I didn't even move outright. I did a lot because I thought I was so in love. I had, at the time, I had great credit. Yeah. Blew all my credit cards on him. Got his place in my name.
What you did?
Had all the credit cards. Credit card was just, and so it went from one thing to another. I experienced that abuse, and then it got to the point where I think it was 3 years. Literally, it was 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm done. I'm not, at the end of the day, I have to value myself and realize that I am beautiful and I am strong and I don't have to deal with this.
So when did you come into your aha moment is what they call it?
You know what?
Like it goes off in our head.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't, because it's so long ago now. I think after so much and so long, it was just like, this not right. Mm-hmm. Because he would do stuff like the whole I Can Tina Turner movie. He would do stuff and then go get me something. Go get me a gift, And it's like, I never got, it wasn't to the point where I was black and blue, but anytime you even tap me as a man and it hurt, that's a problem. So, and then he was messing around with another woman at the same time. This is a bunch of mess. And then it got to the point where I was like, I'm done. And when I made that decision, I had to get a PPO.
It got that bad.
It got that bad. It got to the point where he's like, I don't care about no PPO, and he was still knocking on my door, busting in doors. I would do stuff like pretend like I'm on the phone when he would call me on the phone. Because at the time, we had to call our ID with the box. So I would see the number, and I would let him, because he would talk so much, because he couldn't believe I actually made a move. And most times when you leave from abusive relationships, they feel like you got the strength to do it because you got another man. Yeah. They don't think that you just woke up and realized this ain't right. Right. So his thing was, well, who is this other guy? Well, who is this man? Whatever. And then, whatever. And it was times he would call, and I'd have to leave him talking on the phone and sneak out my house and get in my car and pull off. Because I couldn't say I had to go. Because he would be around my house. He would drive the girl's car that he used to mess around with to my house.
So he got that bad.
Got that bad, got a PPO. Anyway, make a long story short, because it's a long story. But, one day, it was the last strike popped up at the house. I went through the whole, they call it kidnapping on the paperwork. Sounds crazy, but it happened. And he ended up getting charges on him. It's a long, deep story.
So he kidnapped you?
That's what, yeah. So it's kind of, when I talk about it, it's so weird to even say, but people that know me and that were there, they know. So he ended up, once the time went on or whatever, the police arrested him. Okay. And he, make a long story short, because I had a PPO out at the time on him when all this happened, he did 5 years in jail. Oh, wow. So it was a 5-day trial. I was in court for a week. I had to be put on a stand. That's how bad this was. And believe it or not, when you go through stuff like this and you're actually put on a stand, even though you got people that you telling this man, because he was manipulative too, and he was a nice little guy. I'm like, no, man, whatever. Yeah. And it's like, at the end of the day, I think what really hurt me is that even some of my clients, some people didn't believe me. And
so like the K. Michelle thing, when she kept saying that she was being abused, and nobody believed her. None of the people that she worked with on Love and Hip Hop, Rashida was one of the main people who said, I don't believe you, you're lying. Yeah. But he came out and he said it. Yeah. And he started to do the same thing. Memphis, what is it? Memphis?
Yeah, they don't stop usually. Yeah.
And he did it till I got married to LaToya. Yeah. And y'all saw, if y'all ever went to boot camp. So on the boot camp, he was like, you saw that rage, and she was like this, so if she was on camera. Yeah. So imagine her being alone with him and him doing what he was doing to her.
Yeah, it's very, I think that hurt me the most, because I'm like, you think I want to make up the fact that somebody popped up at my house and literally, because people are always thinking, well, why you didn't do this? Well, why you didn't do that? Well, how you do it? Yeah. When that stuff happens like that, you're not prepared. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what type of situation you're going to be in and how you're going to work around it. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, it was God. At the best lawyer I had, because he got kidnapping charges, attempt to commit sexual conduct, all of that. And they locked him up, and he was there, I think it was 5 or 6 years. And God has just, I'm going to tell you, God has given me so, I'm so beyond and past that, And the funny thing is that, I've seen him since he's been out of jail. Popped up at a grocery store. This was years ago too, and that's when I had my son. My son was little, and I remember calling my son's father at the time, and I was like, "Oh, he in the grocery store," because he knew about the story, whatever. He's like, you need to, get out the grocery store, get Rick, and get out the store, and come on, whatever. We'll go to another store, whatever. And that's when it hit me, and I said, I'm not going to another grocery store. I'm about to do what I got to do. Yeah. I'm done. That's over. I'm no longer that same Rocky.
That's right.
And I did it, and he looks horrible now, too. That's the thing, because I feel like I'm so...
I feel good when you can leave him, child. And you see him, and you be like, woo, woo.
Yeah, but...
the Lord has not been favorable to you.
Yeah, so that's, I have a testimony, because, I could have not been here. That's right. And, so many people look at me in conversation when I talk, or people see me, and they're like, not you. People say that I'm a little raw around the edges when I talk, and I'm pretty straightforward, and I am. But you never, like I said, you never know what you'll encounter, what you'll deal with as a woman. I thought I was in love. I was young. I didn't know. That's right. But one thing it did bring me to is to know that I am worth so much more.
That's right. Come on.
And I'm a beast just being the woman that I am, just like this. And so, I'm thankful for it, and I'm alive, and I came out okay. That's with no bruises or none of that. So, so everybody has a story. So that, I got a story. I got a couple of but I'm on a whole nother path now.
You're on a whole nother path. So I heard you talk about having your, your aha moment, and how did that transition into you building back up your self-confidence and coming up with the Red Room?
Well, the Red Room honestly just really came up within the last few years, but we just actually launched in January.
How was that transition going into it? Coming from where you were, not having no confidence, to being this, dynamic house, basically, alone by yourself, and stepping out and always doing videos, blogs, and talking to people, and, recognizing that, hey, I am worthy and I am beautiful, because that's you are.
It's so funny though. So I've been doing hair a while, whatever, and people see me on social media a lot, and they're like, "Oh, she's confident, whatever." I'm gonna tell you, this just happened like within the last 10 years.
Okay.
And because honestly, people don't know, I used to be real shy. I was like painfully shy. And
I could tell that about you when I first met you.
I was painful. See, I was painfully shy, and I have to feel my way with people. Like when I love so hard. I'm like ride or die, and but so sometimes I would keep a wall up or whatever. But I know how to interact. I wasn't to that point where it's like something wrong with her. It wasn't like that.
No, she like, let's get it right. Don't make it seem like,
But
a Summer Walker.
Right.
Summer Walker had issues with, not being able to communicate with people. A whole lot of people at one time. She good if she by herself because she's an introvert.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I've never been to that degree. Now,
hers is extreme to where she's gonna have to go off tour.
Yeah.
She can't be on tour no more because it's so bad. Her anxiety is so bad.
Okay. Yeah. No. Thank God. I got other issues, but that wasn't one of them. But the hair industry really. Especially when I got my business, you can't be painfully shy. You can't, the salon before the blog ever came about, I had to build that brand. And in order to build, you got to talk. You got to mingle. You got to deal with people. You got to comfort people when you don't even want to comfort nobody. You got to be other people's therapist. So me being closed up and introvert and everything, it's not I can't do my job completely because being a hairstylist is more than just being a hairstylist. To me,
you a therapist,
right? And I'm okay with it.
A therapist, a minister. Sometimes you got to be somebody man, because you got to. I'm trying to tell you, it's looking real big today, girl. It's looking big, and even though you may not feel like that, but you got to encourage these women when they down, because it's a whole lot of work. Okay, finish talking.
So no, the hair industry allowed me to blossom and get through that whole transition. And it was God. I'm gonna tell you, it was God because my mother's prayers, my prayers, it was God. Yeah. And then when I moved on after that, and I met my son's father, whatever. He was. I can even say today he's been a blessing in my life, just as a person. Yeah. So. Because sometimes you come out of stuff like that, you feel like, okay, everybody bad. Yeah. They all crazy. And that's that. To this day, I still say that's not true. No matter what we've all been through, there are some decent men out here, whether you're with them or you're not.
Say that one more time.
There are some decent men.
There are some decent men, because I've met some really good men. Like, my husband was really, really good. It was just we were not equally yoked. Yeah. And so let's move into being equally yoked with a man. So I know that you've been divorced. You are a divorcee. And with you being a divorcee, what is one of the biggest things you think as far as like a trial that you had to go through and experience being, in your marriage?
I had to learn the difference between loneliness and solitude. Okay. And I think a lot of that loneliness was a reason that I thought I needed to stay in the marriage. Yeah. I had lost myself and my identity. But with going through the divorce and having that time, and it's a process. It's a grieving process. It's like death without the person actually dying.
Okay, say that one more time.
It's like grieving. It's like death without the person actually.
And so people do not understand that, because when you get married, you think that it's forever, right? You thought
that's what the vow was supposed to say.
Right. You think that's what I thought. I thought that